What is up, guys? Welcome to the channel. It is Toaster Tuesday, and as you may have guessed, this one is all about the check engine light. So no more asking on Facebook, what do these three lights mean? This video is going to answer your questions, and you're going to learn how to read them. So whenever your XB's computer sees something that it doesn't like, it goes ahead and throws up the check engine light, it turns off traction control, and it turns off vehicle stability control. Now these three lights tell you that there's something wrong with your car and you have to get it diagnosed. Now going on Facebook and asking everybody there what those three lights mean and how do they turn them off is not the answer, okay? That is not going to fix your problem. There are a million different reasons as to why those three lights came on. No one on Facebook is gonna know what the reasoning is. So in order to figure it out, you have to get the codes read. Now you used to be able to go to an auto parts store like O'Reilly's, Advanced, AutoZone and get the codes read, but since we got this crazy pandemic going on, they're no longer doing it. They're not allowed to go into customers' cars, and some of them don't even have the machine to do it anymore. So now your options are either go to the dealer or to handle it yourself. So if you guys are fans of the channel for years and years and years, then you know I've been handling this myself for a long time. I did a review on this Foseal OBD2 scanner tool like 2+ years ago, and more recently, I've done a review on the Foxwell NT301. Now, if you're interested in either one of these products, there's a link down in the description box that'll take you to Amazon where you can pick this guy up for pretty darn cheap and this guy for under 70 bucks. So as you just saw, my box has got over 277,000 miles on it. And yeah, you might have guessed, things are starting to kind of wear out. And it's not surprising that it's starting to throw a code. Now, it's actually been throwing a code for a really long time, but I keep finding ways to get around fixing it. The first thing I came up with was changing the octane. I went from 87 to 89. And that helped for a little while. The second thing I came up with was actually cleaning my air filter. Yeah, I neglected it for a really long time, and I wound up cleaning it, reinstalling it, and boom, the check engine light, the traction control light, and the vehicle stability control light all went off. But now it's actually time to fix the problem, not just putting a band-aid on it, but actually repairing it. So in the next video, next Tuesday, we're actually gonna do that. But today's video is all about reading the code and diagnosing what the issue is. So to get things started, we're gonna start with the Foseal scan tool. You can find this on Amazon under $20, deal of the century. If you want one, go down the description box, click the link. The beauty of this guy is just like the NT301 that we're going to get to later, you can use this on any OBD2 car. So if you have like a 1997 Toyota Tacoma and a code gets thrown, you can use this. If you have a 2014 Toyota Corolla, you can use this to read the codes. Okay, so you can use it on any car that's OBD2. Installation couldn't be easier on this guy. You're just going to go ahead and reach under your dash. I'm not going to film it because the lighting's going to be terrible, but there's going to be an opening that looks just like that underneath your dash. If you're really good, you can just kind of stick your hand under here and find out where it is. And if you're really, really good, you can actually do it while you're driving. So in order to read the codes, the car actually does have to be on and idling or driving. The kind of neat thing about the Foseal scan tool is it can work with a number of apps. Now, it does recommend that you use one made by Foseal, shocker, but you can actually use any app you want. So let me show you the one that I use. This is actually a new phone that I recently got. If you're interested in getting a nice, cool Android type phone off of Amazon for about 200 bucks, this is the Redmi Note 8 Pro. I'll put a link down in the description if you want to pick up one of these too, but I can't recommend the phone enough. But anyway, let's get into the app that I actually have downloaded. It's called the Car Scanner. And since this phone is new, I've never actually connected this to the Foseal device. So we're opening up here, we're in the dashboard. Obviously we want to connect. We're going to connect via Wi-Fi. So that's good there. Let's go back in my cars. You see I got the XB in there, so that's good. Go back here. Now I have to mess with my wireless because that's how this connects. There it is, Wi-Fi OBD2. So I'm going to connect to that, and now I'm connected. So now that we're connected to the Wi-Fi, we're going to go ahead and connect. Give this thing a second. It's connected to the ECU. It's successful, awesome, and boom, we're in. So this app is really cool. It gives you all sorts of information about your car, including the VIN number. You can go ahead and hit the dashboard here, and it's going to tell us a whole bunch of cool stuff here about our RPM, gallons per hour, blah blah blah, a bunch of stuff that if you had this plugged in all the time, this would actually be useful information. For right now, for us, it's not so useful, but really cool kind of stuff. You can get live data, diagnose trouble codes. Oh, that's what we want. So clearing codes, blah blah blah. Now I don't want to clear them, I want to read them. All right, automatic, please confirm that you have selected the correct connection for your car. Yes, I have. And we're gonna go ahead and read. So give this a second and it should tell us, there we go, what the problem is with the car. So the code that I'm running is P0171. System 2 lean, bank 1. So from this point, there are a number of things that I could do. I could take this code P0171, go on the internet, I could search on it, I can go to the Facebook forums, I can search on there. I can go to ScionLife.com, I can search on there. I can go to ClubXB.com, I can search on there. I call my grandmother up and ask her if she knows what the code is. There's lots of stuff you can do. Unfortunately, this thing is limited to where it won't tell you why it's throwing the code, okay? It's only telling you what the code is. Now, I do have the option to clear the code, but chances are my problem is just going to come back because, once again, we didn't fix anything, we just cleared the code. So that's where the Foxwell NT301 comes in, because not only will this tell us what the code is, it will tell us what is causing the code. Now that is some serious, valuable information, and that is why this is my go-to tool when it comes to reading codes. Faux seal reader is really cool, and in a pinch it does work. However, this is the guy that I use all the time. All right, so this guy's gonna plug in exactly like the other one, and it is simpler to use. We don't have to worry about connecting to the Wi-Fi. We don't have to worry about downloading an app. Everything is right here at our fingertips, nice and clear and concise with easy to move buttons and the whole bit. So we got a problem with our car, still have our check engine light on there, right? So to get started, we're gonna go ahead and read the code. So all we gotta do is hit enter on that prompt, give this thing a second to link to the vehicle, and boom, we get to this main screen here where we can read the codes, erase the codes, get the live data, all sorts of cool stuff. We wanna go ahead and read the codes, hit enter, we wanna see the stored codes, and boom, same code that we saw before, right? The P0171. Now, do you see this little question mark up here? If we hit the help button, it's going to actually tell us what is causing that problem. So we could possibly have an intake leak after the mass airflow sensor. What we could do is we could pop the hood and check all the clamps and all the seals leading up to the actual filter element itself to see if there are any leaks anywhere around there, which I've already done. Okay, the second thing is restriction in fuel system. It is possible that there is something in the fuel line that is causing a problem and causing us to run lean. However, I highly doubt it, because there would be a lot of other things going on with the car. It wouldn't accelerate right, it would probably buck, I'd probably have idle issues, I'd have all sorts of problems. So I doubt it's the restriction in the fuel system. Spark plugs have excessive wear. Not really a possibility. If you guys watch my videos, you know I very recently changed the spark plugs out in this car. So it's not that. And then it comes down to the fourth one, faulty bank. One sensor, one oxygen sensor. Now, I've had this car for 5 years and I've never touched those O2 sensors, and I guarantee you that the previous owner didn't either. They are probably OEM, and I bet you that's what our issue is. So guess what next week's video is going to be about? That's right, we're going to change the O2 sensors in this car. There are two, there's an upstream and a downstream. I already have the sensors. I've actually had them for well over a year now. I've just been totally lazy and just, you know, erasing this code every time it pops on, because the car doesn't drive any different. It doesn't react any differently with these lights on or with them off. So I just kind of erase them when they come on and I move on with my life. But it really is time that I address them and do something about it. So there you have it, the 4 things that could possibly be causing the code to be thrown on this car. Now that we know that, let's go ahead and erase these stupid things. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the back button, hit the back button again, and then we can go down, just make sure there isn't anything else. We can go down to pending codes, hit enter, and I think it's gonna give me the same one. Yep, gives me the same one. Go back again. Permanent codes, I don't think it can do that for this car. Yeah, not supported. So back, let's go back again. And let's go down to erase codes. We're gonna go ahead and hit enter. Erase trouble codes, are you sure? Hell yeah, I'm sure. Enter. And look at that, they are gone like freaking magic. So it's just that simple, guys. You don't need to go to mechanic, you don't need to go to advanced, you don't need to go to AutoZone. You can just buy one of these cheap tools and read the code yourself, diagnose them yourself, because you saw out of those 4 options, none of them were difficult. And like I said, the fuel one, and that's a stretch. We would really know if there was a problem with fuel getting to the car. So go down in the description box, click on the links. You don't have to buy the ones I'm suggesting. You can buy yourself any code reader you want. But the bottom line is, you will know what's wrong with your car if you have yourself a solid reader. So before I go, I want to give a shout out to Inkstar29 Productions. They met up with me earlier in the week. It was actually my last day of work at O'Reilly's. If you guys don't know, I was working there part-time. So anyway, they met up with me there my last day, and they purchased the springs from this box, and they filmed the whole thing. So there's a link down in the description. Go click on it, watch their latest video, make sure you give them a subscribe and a like, as well as this video, for crying out loud. You got to be liking these videos. And I'd love to see more Scion XB channels putting out stuff on Tuesday and making it like a big hashtag Toaster Tuesday thing. So every single Tuesday when you turn on YouTube, you're going to be flooded with XB content. So I'm calling you out, Insignificant Boost, an awesome Scion XB channel, and I'm calling out 2 a.m. later, another great Scion XB channel. Guys, I want to see you putting stuff out on Tuesdays. I want you hashtagging it Toaster Tuesday, and every Tuesday I want us all sit down and watch awesome XB content. So anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. And next week, guess what? We're installing some O2 sensors. So if you got an old XB like this one, you probably need to change those O2 sensors out sooner rather than later. So it should be a pretty helpful video for a lot of people out there. Anyway, guys, that's the video. I'll see you next week.